Welcome back to the Sports Edge podcast. I'm your host and commissioner, Dan Stanzik. A thrill, as always, to be joined by two-time SEFFL champ Justin the Guru Eisner. After a week off, Guru, how are you?
Doing good. Well, bye week for us last week. That was,
I know we needed it.
We needed a little break.
I mean, I'm still recovering from the Blue Jays Game 7 World Series loss.
Condolences.
I needed the break. We are also happy to be joined by the reigning SEFFL champ, Tom Hathaway, who recently beat both the Guru and I in back-to-back weeks. So in many ways, he has an ownership stake in this podcast now. And that man is Tom Hathaway. Tom, sources tell me you celebrated your dominance over Guru and me by sipping some Mai Tais in Hawaii. Is that correct?
That is accurate. Yeah, after getting through that slog, I got to do 7 days in Maui. And actually, Dan, I was rooting for your Blue Jays. I felt like most of the people there were all Dodger fans, and so the place was going nuts about that. So sorry for the loss to me and the loss to the Blue Jays, but it was a good way to get a little R&R for the back half of the season here.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we will dive right into our Week 10 recap. And we'll start with your guys, Tom. The McConkey off my back, fresh off the podcast sweep, as I mentioned, completely dismantled the Honey Bijan Badgers, 159-76. You more than doubled up Walsh. And Tom, I had this part of the record book is not completely up to date, but by my last count, I believe that the 83.7 point margin in this contest is the second biggest in league history.
Really?
So quickly, why did you do that to your friend Walsh? And then Guru, I'll ask you something.
I actually texted Walsh the day after, and I was like, dude, I am so sorry. If there's anyone in this league I would not want to do that to, it is you. I would prefer to be Zans, obviously, but it's just the way it fell there. But did not feel good to doing it to Walsh. But I was happy that it happened in general because it finally put me into first place in the standings and overall points. Second in terms of wins and losses, which I thought was important to finally get that over Zans and hopefully hold that for any possible tiebreakers as we get into the playoffs.
Guru, before I get to the question I have planned, who would you most want to beat by that wide of a margin? And if it's not Steve, then don't answer.
I didn't even let you finish the question, Steve Curtis.
Okay, good answer. That's what I thought.
We'll get to that later, though. Things are looking up.
Yeah, we'll get to that one soon. But Hack, you guys did lose Tucker Kraft in week 9, something we would have covered had we done a pod last week. But in the meantime, you and I did make a trade. I don't know if everyone's seen that trade that has gone through, but you traded a 3rd-round pick to me for Travis Kelce. So, Guru, what do you make of that deal?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for Tucker Kraft deciding to have that happen after just completely destroying me whatever it was the week before. So tough timing for me. But I'll just say this about the trade, Dan. First of all, I have no bad blood for either team in the trade. I'm hoping the trade is a love story for everybody.
Here we go.
There we go.
Okay, all right, cut him off.
A blank space in your tight end, and you don't want to be looking through the waiver wire trying to find some kind of cruel summer replacement. But even if your season ends in heartbreak with Travis Kelce, you'll just shake it off and you'll say, I knew it was trouble when I traded for him. And I think, seriously, it was a good deal. I liked it for both teams.
Did MT help you write that, or was that all on your own?
All on me.
Look at this guy. What a guy.
Come on.
This guy. Let's just keep it moving after that. I mean, that was a low moment in pod history, I think. We go right to my favorite game to recap this week. Guru, it's your team. The Man Rockets blasted the Thrill of the Chase 137-84, and it is good to see that all was finally right in the world once again. It's been a long time coming for this one. We needed this as a podcast,
we did.
as a fantasy football league. We needed this, an absolute pounding of Steve's team by your team, Guru. And Steve appears to be without Jaden Daniels for the foreseeable future. I mean, I thought he was done for the year. I guess there's a slight chance he could come back. The injury news was a little better, but for all intents and purposes, Daniels is out. We will just say that. And Steve has decided to roll with Sam Darnold at quarterback. The same Sam Darnold who just scored 6.92 points this week. So we are going to buy or sell Steve's decision to roll with Sam Darnold. Guru, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, you have to sell it, right? First of all, thank you, Dan. We're super excited to be here this week after that win. I think we needed it. We needed it. We took a lot of L's, you and I, for a while, but this just feels...
We're back. The pod's back, and we're back.
We're back. No, I mean, you got to sell this. Coming up, I've got some ideas. I don't know if you want to let Hath go first, but...
Yeah. We'll have to get in there. What do you think? You're selling this too, right?
I am selling this, and I also saw that the injury bug is hitting him again as Marvin Harris is expected to be out this week as well.
Great news for the pod. It's great.
Great news all around. I'm not sure where he goes dumpster diving though in terms of the waiver wire. I think that most of the league of managers here have done a good job of keeping at least 2 or 3 on their roster at all times. So he may need to trade.
You might need to make a trade, which
Yeah.
which we will get to. We will get to right now. I was going to ask you guys if you can win the SEFFL with Sam Darnold at quarterback. I think the answer to that is an obvious no. But we will let the record show that Steve has been canvassing the league for a replacement quarterback. He was offered Patrick Mahomes, refused to part ways with Quinshawn Judkins. Steve also asked about Dak Prescott. I have league sources telling me they asked about Dak Prescott. Price is too high there. And of course, Steve was very interested in Drake May. So we kicked some ideas around, couldn't come to an agreement, but we did think it was good pod fodder to ask you guys this. Who would you rather have at quarterback going forward? Drake May or Jaden Daniels? At the time, it seemed to make sense. My team was presumably out of it, although the Zicks have fought their way back. But at the time, my team was out of it. Steve's team was towards the top of the league. A swap there might have made sense. Me looking to the future, him looking to now. Who would you rather have going forward, Drake May or Jaden Daniels? Guru, again, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I've got some ideas for Steve too, though we don't like to give him ideas. But it pains me to say it as a Jet fan, but I think it's Drake May. I mean, Jaden Daniels just kind of keeps getting hurt. I mean, I think of like one game if they're both healthy, you probably want Jaden Daniels, but like, I don't know, risk reward, it might be May.
What do you think, Half?
Yeah, I know, alignment here is not great for a podcast, but I would say Drake May all the way. In fact, I was talking to Steve over the summer when we were in the midst of trades. I knew he was very high on him, and I predicted a sophomore slump. I don't think he has the body type to be durable in this league, and I think as good as he was last year, there was a lot of things that kind of all led to a lot of luck as well. So I don't see him trending into the same type of dynasty role that he showed in his freshman year.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels did finish 5th among quarterbacks last season. It was a great rookie campaign for him. The sky was the limit, but the knock on him coming out of college was he is injury prone, and that has seemed to rear its ugly head here in his second year in the league. But we will get to some ideas for Steve, I guess, coming up at some point this podcast. But we move on to the.
Let's
think on
that.
You want to do it now? Go ahead, Guru, please.
I've got my notes. I don't want to lose them, but it's a good chance to blame Steve some more, right? Like we don't
Please.
want to. Let's not move off this topic too fast, Dan. This is big.
I mean, we could spin this to a dud of the week somehow. You do you here.
Well, let's. I mean, I don't know. Darnold had a tough matchup against Arizona. Another one against the Rams this week. I'm wondering, do you roll with Geno? I know he's potentially hurt, but it's a Monday night game against the Cowboys. You go with Geno this week. The other idea, like, I'm going to give you some points here, Dan. Last 5 weeks, Half and Dan, 25-24, bye week, 29-23. Name that quarterback available on the free agent list.
Mac Jones.
No.
Aaron
I
Rodgers.
had it. I don't even know who is available. Read those again, please.
25 points, 24 points. There was a bye week in there somewhere. 29 points, 23 points.
Oh, never mind. I misheard that.
Any guesses, Hal?
No.
No, go ahead. Who is it? Aaron Rodgers?
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh,
Get out.
There's an idea there as well. I don't think you keep rolling with Sam Darnold. I think there's some options.
Interesting. Tom, what would you do there?
I actually think that if you're going to go with just the next week matchup first and foremost, I do think that's a great idea. If I had the Amaguru here, I would go with I'm blanking out his name. Just said it.
Geno against Dallas or Brissett?
Yeah. I would do a Geno against Dallas for that matchup. The Dallas, the secondary has been getting shredded all year long. But Brissett is known that he has kind of a hot start as a backup for the first 3-4 weeks, and then he kind of caters off. So I'm not sure he's your long-term option either.
I mean, he's playing San Francisco this week. That defense is pretty banged up too. Better options than Darnold, you would think, going up against the Rams. We move on. Enough ideas for Steve. Enough. Let's stop with that. The San Zix avenged a week 1 loss to Hunter. I don't even know her. And with the win, advanced to playoff position for the first time all year at 4-6. The Comish sitting in the 6th spot, guys. And as you know, as most people should know, The Commish was recently a guest on the Baseball Tonight podcast with Buster Olney talking about the Blue Jays, and earlier this week filled in as the co-host of the Adam Schefter podcast, in which he teed off on Giants general manager Joe Shane. So guys, let me ask you this. Which podcast, other than the one you are currently on, would you most like to be a guest on? Guru, we start with you.
Ooh. We don't talk about other podcasts on this podcast, Dan.
We don't talk about other leagues on this podcast.
Just good to see that you're branching out to other celebrities besides myself that you get to talk to on a regular basis. Good to see. I don't know. It's interesting because you said a guest on,
Yeah.
which means you're going to get like interviewed. I wasn't sure. I mean, the Kelseys would be interesting, maybe just to chat with those guys. I forget what the name of the podcast is. I don't listen to it, but
New Heights.
Yeah, New Heights. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That was my first thought. What about you, Hath? I don't know.
Yeah, I would say I would probably actually do Pardon My Take. I'm a big fan of that one. And then if not that, I really like the podcast Acquired. If you're interested in that too, it's a merger.
Acquired?
And the business one. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Okay.
So that'd be an interesting one to also join in on.
Interesting. I was thinking more like, have you guys ever listened to, why am I blanking at it now? The Ringers movie podcast, The Rewatchables.
That would be a great one too.
Being a guest on that podcast, talking about a movie I've seen plenty of times and liked. So that's what I was thinking on that one. But we keep it rolling.
Yeah, really quick. I want to just chime in. Having heard your guest spot on both, but in particular talking about the Shefty one, thought you did a fantastic job on that segment, and just making sure that this is clear. This is my opinion, not a reflection of Dan Stanzik or ESPN, but I thought that you outdueled Shefty on there in terms of your position, both for Giants, you're a top 5, Burrow, and then I absolutely agree, obviously, that my Lions, I'm repping the shirt here, are going to be in much better hands with Dan Campbell calling plays. That was a disaster as Smith hire was actually made, so I thought you did a great spot, a great job, and I hope that you're going to be taking over for Ty Schmidt here soon.
I appreciate that. Ty will be back. We're supposed to tape tomorrow. We'll see. But I did get a text from, I don't know if he's friend of the pod. He's friend of me, friend of the Commish, but he has some history in this league. One Field Yates, who did text me and say, you should be the permanent co-host of the Schefter pod. He was very impressed with my Shane takedown. So we do have that going for us. But we move on. Don't look now. Game number 4 to recap. With a 122-117 win over the Allen Bros, Bowers Castle, 2 wins in a row in the playoff mix. And last week, Hoban traded away Chase Brown to the Commish in exchange for Patrick Holmes. So you guys need to give Hoban and the Commish a grade for that trade. Guru, you are the actual co-host of this podcast. We'll start with you.
All right. So I have Chase Brown in another league. We don't talk about other leagues. He's been pretty frustrating, but he's had a good last couple weeks.
Kick him back up.
He's got 2 tough matchups, but then a lot of good ones after that. So I kind of think maybe we got that tick up, like you just said, Stanzik, plus some easier run defense matchups coming. If you look at Mahomes, again, we're just talking kind of rest of the year. Denver, 31st. These are in a bad way, by the way. Denver, 31st. Indy, 19th. Dallas is the best team to play against, so that's number 1. But then you go Houston, 32nd. Chargers 30th, Tennessee 13th, Denver 31st again. That is like a murderer's row with very few exceptions. So he's got a bunch of tough matchups coming up. So don't love giving up a running back. Don't love the matchups coming up. I feel like A grade for the Commish, C grade for Hoban. It's passing. He needed the quarterback. He got the quarterback, but I don't love his depth at running back to just give that up. I probably would have looked for maybe Mahomes plus on that. So I give him a C and an A for you, especially with Drake May. That's kind of the other reason, right?
There you go. Yeah, I mean, he made it easier. May was 3rd among quarterbacks in points. Mahomes was 1st. He made it easier to trade Mahomes for sure. Half, what do you think?
Yeah, I do think at least for this year, it was a good trade for both parties. Or rather, I should say, I would give the trade grades kind of as you did, Eisner. I would give Hoban a B. I would give you an A, Dan. I know that he and I are considered arch rivals on this podcast and in this league. I think that was
when it's convenient for the content of the pod.
Yeah, let's say I think it was it was a little bit curated because I actually like Hoban, and I am hoping that with Mahomes it'll actually make him a little bit more durable for being able to put up a competitive score because Mahomes can put players on his back, be able to put up a huge spot here or there. But I do think for you long term, Dan, once Joe Burrow's back, Chase Brown is going to be excellent. I was big on him coming out of college, as I think I had told you in a text earlier this week. So I think from a dynasty perspective, you're going to win on that one. And I'm going to throw a hot take out there. But my hot take on Patrick
Unprovoked.
Mahomes is that even though we know that he's a generational quarterback, I think that he has a little bit of Russell Wilson to him, that he makes so much happen with his legs that I don't think he's going to be able to have the same longevity of career once that goes. I haven't seen him truly show himself. I mean, I know he is a pocket quarterback and he can do it, but so much of what he does is also off schedule. What happens when he loses his legs?
Interesting take. I mean, I think you in fantasy, you definitely want a quarterback that can move a little bit and get you some rushing yards. I would be remiss if I moved on to the next topic without bringing this up, but Hoban was also in conversations, again, per league sources, with the Allen Bros about trying to acquire Josh Allen, and the asking price guru was astronomical. Do you have any guesses as to what, you think Pete might have asked Hoban for in exchange for Josh Allen?
Yeah, I mean, my first guess, which wouldn't have made sense for Hoban, was his firstborn child. I mean, that feels like where that would be going.
You know what? It was
My
close.
guess is it had to be at least 3 first-round picks plus somebody on his team, Bowers.
Close. It was Ashton Genty,
Okay.
Nico Collins,
Okay.
and a first-round pick,
Okay.
which was promptly rejected.
Yes. Yes. Good job, Hoban.
That's
A
a
on the
lot.
rejection.
A on the rejection. Very good. Last game to recap here in our Week 10 recap. Celsius and I Love Hyphens slugfest. 149-133 Celsius. What a showdown. It's a 3-game win streak for Kess, tied with UHAF, longest in the league. Robbie, a.k.a. the Hyphenator, sitting at 3-7, hasn't made the playoffs since 2020. Does have a nice young core there. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, Rashee Rice, Roma Dunze, Tet McMillan. I cooked up some trade ideas for you guys. And again, this happens to be us giving ideas to Steve, but they're ideas for Robbie and Steve to potentially make some things happen. 2 ideas for you. Idea number 1, Robbie trades Lamar Jackson and a 4th to Steve for his first-round pick and Ricky Pearsall. In this scenario, Robbie would be rolling with Jackson Dart as his quarterback of the future. I don't know if you guys have seen enough from Dart or not. Robbie is a Giants fan. Keep that in mind. Door number 2, Robbie trades Lamar Jackson to Steve for the aforementioned Jaden Daniels plus a 2026 third-round pick. Which of those doors do you think Robbie should walk through? Or door number 3 would be just keep Lamar Jackson?
I would be more likely to walk through 1 than 2, but I might pick 3.
Half?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I would go with the door number 1 there. But you brought up a interesting point going to Robbie after Pete. Since I have tried to trade with both very unsuccessfully, Robbie just not interested. Pete very known a hard negotiator there. Do we have stats on who's done the most trades in this league and who has done the?
Not that I can easily pull up. I think in podcast past we had
We did that once.
I think we had a couple years ago. I want to say Pete and I were towards the top of the list.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Robbie will go down door number 3 if I were to guess.
Probably keep Lamar Jackson. I mean, yeah. It seems like this is my panel of judges here. You two guys pretty down on Jaden Daniels. Is the sense that I'm getting. But we move on to a mystery box segment hosted by Tom Hathaway. Again, he beat Guru. He beat me back-to-back weeks. He basically owns the podcast, and he wanted his own segment. We don't know what it is. So he has a segment for us. Time, you take it away.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you made me earn it to get my own segment, but I'm excited to have it for you guys. So what I wanted to do with both of you is a segment that I think we all know called Hot or Not. And
oh, boy.
So, obviously, this is built upon the famous Office episode in which the Office cast talked about whether Hillary Swank was hot or not. I think it then.
I thought it was based on a dorm room in Harvard in 2004.
Oh, all right. Okay, there we go. But I
guess it was more faces up against each other, and you picked who was hotter. So you're more right.
Same idea.
And to be fair, I mean, every freshman class of boys in college played that game with the freshman yearbook. So absolutely,
it's true.
Yep.
So in the spirit of that game, just to do a softball up the middle here to get us warmed up, Hillary Swank, hot or not?
Not.
Yeah, I'm going not to. There is too many. She is in a position where she can get all dolled up and look pretty. But more often than not, she is not dolled up and not attractive. I think that's at the time, it was, she was very much in the news. She was winning Best Actress at the Oscars. You saw her in the dresses all the time. There's a lot of makeup, a lot of hair done. I think the answer is a not. I think if someone is in Hollywood and you're unsure if they're hot, it means that they're not hot.
It's a great point.
That is a great point. We're going to put that to the test here in a second. But on that same note, I'm going to go not. I actually think that she probably hit her peak in The Karate Kid, where she actually was looking pretty decent back. But I'm going to say overall, she is a not. All right. So for next up, this one is going to be an actress that actually has the same last name. No relation, but Anne Hathaway, is she hot or not? There's a lot of polarizing comments going both ways on this one. Thoughts? We'll start with Dan on this one.
I think she is hot physically, and I think she is probably one of the most annoying people on the planet, personality-wise. I don't know that for a fact. That's just like the vibes I get from seeing her. I haven't seen her in a long time, but back in her heyday, back in like the Catwoman days, I guess probably before that was more of her heyday, Devil Wears Prada era. I would say definitely hot. But always struck me as like would probably be super annoying and someone I wouldn't want to spend any time with, but physically hot.
That's also a good take. I was hot without hesitation as well, but hadn't thought of that side of it. I think you're probably right. I mean, I never really thought about that.
I think most of these
I don't think
Hollywood actresses, like most women are dramatic anyway, and then you got the actresses and you're like, yikes.
Yeah. It's a lot to handle.
Yeah. Like Halle Berry is a smoke bomb, but she is probably insufferable to be around all the time.
Yeah. There's probably a couple. I don't know. I don't want to mess with anyone that might be on Hath's list. I've got a couple ideas of that might be cool to hang out with, but I agree on Hath's.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
Tom, I like how you're answering your own questions here. Go ahead.
Yeah, me too. It's great.
Well, I think in that regard, I'm going to go not as well. I've always thought that she's got a little bit of a horse mouth, if I'm being totally candid here. And then I never even thought about that, but you're right. Her roles are just so annoying that she seems like an unbearable person to be. That is a great take. Last one before we're going to switch up a little bit again is going to be Keri Russell. Hot or not? Guru?
I'm going first on this because I just literally talked about this the other night with my wife. Big fans of The Diplomat. We just finished it. Very hot. Huge Keri Russell fan. Huge Keri Russell fan.
I am also going hot. And Guru, I have not watched season 3 yet, but last year around this time, I ripped through season 1 and season 2 of The Diplomat. And my first thought was, how has no one in my life told me about this show? It is literally right up my alley. Anyone that watches that and knows me should have been like, dude, you got to watch this show. I assume you're watching the show. I stumbled across it myself. Love the show. I don't know what happens in season 3. I don't need spoilers, but the husband, I've never seen him before.
What?
Awesome actor.
Yeah. He's actually been in a bunch of stuff too. Also, most notably coming up for the holidays, Love Actually. He's the asshole one.
That's right. My wife did say he's from Love Actually. But Keri Russell, hot then, hot now, always hot, curly hair, straight hair, just hot. I don't know if you guys ever watched The Americans.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say that. Unbelievable in The Americans. The other one that guy's from, Dan, is The Man in the High Castle, which was on Prime. I don't know if anybody watched it.
Oh, no. That's like if Germany won World War II.
That's the one I was going to
bring up. Lost the war. It's kind of like a sci-fi sort of thing.
I'm going to predict where we're going with Hath's game here, but I'm just going to get ahead of it here. That guy also hot.
Love that take.
You bet. And yeah, I'm going to also go Keri Russell, absolutely hot. This was a big argument on the vacation. I was the only one of the four of us who said that. I also agree. Earliest, on a Felicity, curly hair, loved her. I think she is sexy, even in a pantsuit. So I'm gonna go hot there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, cancel the next trip with those people.
I know.
That's terrible.
Bad takes. Bad takes.
Horrible take. All right, switching up now. We are gonna go because we got to have equal opportunity. Man rockets abound. So with that, in honor of the jersey I'm wearing, I know that there's another person on who had a great guest spot on this podcast who also has a man crush on this one. But Matt Stafford, hot or not?
Wow, I thought you were going to go Jared Goff there.
I was leading it that way on purpose. Switch it up.
Okay.
Always be a line from
That's a
me.
tough one.
I think not. I think he's one of those people where it's like his fame and stature as an athlete makes him seem like he's more attractive. I think he kind of looks like a goofball. He looks like you know, a guy from Central Casting who had to play like a frat guy in a movie who's just like goofy. I don't think he is like physically a hunk.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say not. I like Stafford.
He has a bit of a face that looks, Dan, like the minute he stops playing, he's going to be a fat guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Right? Like he's got that big, chunky, fat face, and it's like, oh, the minute he stops playing football, like it's over.
Yeah.
Right? It's
yeah.
over.
There's a little pudginess, a little roundness to his.
Yeah. We want that nice jawline, if we're going to go for these guys. I don't get it with him. So.
It's getting a little better now that he's been in LA. I got to say, the years in Detroit, he was a little more pudgy, Tom, and then he goes out to LA, and it's he's looking a little more fit. But I think no, not is the right answer here.
Yeah. So before I give my answer, a quick story on this. So I've actually sat shoulder to shoulder with Matt Stafford during his rookie year with the Lions. There is a town called Royal Oak in Michigan, just outside of the metro area. It's kind of wherever he goes on party, kind of like a Hoboken, right? And so for Thanksgiving Eve, we all go out there, and there's a famous Coney dog spot in town that everybody goes to for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Go there for like a late hungover brunch the next day. Who comes in but Matt Stafford and his then girlfriend, but soon to be wife, Kelly Stafford, formerly Kelly Hall. They sit down. He's got a dome on him. I mean, this guy, there's no way he wears a normal hat made from a factory. He gets custom made hats. He has very interesting dynamics, but then the way that they acted when the waitress came over to order, everybody gets a I'm a Coney dog there. It doesn't matter what's on the actual menu. He then says, or my girlfriend, she'll have grilled cheese with pickles on the side, and I'll have a taco salad. Hands the menus back. We're all completely disappointed by this order. My buddy across from me says he's never going to make it in this league. They hear us, give us a face, leave the actual booth, move away from us. But obviously, he's gone on to have a great career and has done quite well for himself. I do think he's actually aging better, though.
Yeah.
He's gone to LA. He has gotten some fake chompers as well. But I am going to actually go hot because I got to have a little bit of loyalty for my boy here.
There you go. And he's in the MVP conversation in real life football, so good for him.
He's saving me.
I'm say he had a shoulder injury this offseason. You said you were shoulder to shoulder with him. I was wondering what you did to him, but carry on.
All right. Next up, Caleb Williams.
Oh, not hot. And I'm unsure if he's good or not at football.
It's also a football take, Dan.
Yeah.
I will also go not. I kind of knew what he looked like, but not really. I just did a little Google image search on the side. I'm hoping to argue with Dan on one of these, but we didn't.
I know we're pretty lockstep here.
Yeah.
Man, okay, so we're all going to go not here. I wasn't sure.
I thought Tom might.
Wasn't actually give him any credit for the fashion takes, but that nail polish is pretty brutal as well.
Yeah. I think that's the easiest one we've had so far. The easiest one was Keri Russell. Keri Russell was the easiest.
That's no doubt.
She's just
no doubter.
Oozing hotness.
Fastball.
Yeah.
All right, last one. This one hopefully will be a doozy. Puka Nacua.
I mean, you're trying to sell me on the flow here, I guess.
That's why it's a question.
Little Hawaiian vibes.
Wow.
I'm gonna say not.
It feels very picture dependent. I'm on Google Images, and
certain photos
I can find some hots
right?
and some knots really easily.
Oh, he's making you think about this. I'm just going off the picture in my head here.
Have you not seen his game day photo for when they're introducing the lineups?
I don't know how to get you some of the images I'm looking at, Dan, but it looks like
I'm Googling. Oh, wow, there are some that are.
There's some hot ones.
I got to be honest, and he's got to keep the facial hair. The facial hair is helping him. When he doesn't have the facial hair, it's a knot. When he has the facial hair, I'll give it to him.
So what do you think, generally speaking, if you have some pictures where you're hot and some where you're not, does that make you not because you should always look hot, or do you play off the best game?
Great question.
I think that's why we're doing this here.
I know. This is a good one. I'll give him hot.
He gives off those like super athletic Hawaiian kid, like great at everything.
Yeah.
Alpha male,
series at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the vibes are helping him for sure. I think physically it's a no, but Tom, your game,
Break
your
the tie,
answer.
Tom. I'm going yes.
Yes.
Split the tie.
I'm going hot here. I think
Nice.
yeah. I mean, I'm going off of your point of Justin. Like, what is your best game? And I think that he's a stud when he is bringing it. I think Dan's right. You know that the facial hair is a must there. Otherwise, it's a little bit too much of a pretty boy.
Tom, good work on hot or not here. Let's keep things moving here on the pod and get everybody in and out. We're gonna go right to our Week 11 preview, and Guru, we're starting with us. It's the Stan 4-6 against Guru's man record 6-4. For those that aren't aware, we first became aware of one another, I want to say, in college because of intramurals. To the best of your knowledge, and I haven't done this yet, so I'm going to be doing this in my head as you're answering the question. How many intramural championships did you win in your 4 years at Fairfield?
I tried my best to think of this too. So we won softball, I think our either freshman or sophomore year. I think Stanzik, the co-ed softball team we played together on, I think we won, didn't we?
We won 1 year for sure.
1 year, so that's 2. I couldn't remember the floor hockey thing. We won like some of those, then some years they didn't let us.
I had a feeling you were gonna I won floor hockey all 4 years, and I was gonna say that shouldn't count. But
yeah, I think we did it for like 2 or 3 years, then we stopped doing it, and then we just played co-ed, but like I played goalie. I think maybe we won one of those too. I think I won a dodgeball tournament at one point. So I don't know, like what is that? Like 6 maybe, something like that? 5 or 6?
See, I think I might be a little under that. I mean, softball senior year, we won soccer my sophomore year. I was the goalie in soccer. Stonewall Stanzik, obviously.
I was the goalie in their team that lost.
Yeah.
I subbed in the final. I didn't play all year, and I was the goalie for the finals.
What's funny is I actually did the reverse. I played all year, and I wasn't there in the final. I don't know who they put in there, but I don't think it mattered. We won co-ed basketball my senior year, and then we won softball, like you meant, co-ed softball. So I think I think I'm like 4 or 5 range in there. Yeah. But you probably got a few more than me with the hockey, with your cheating with hockey. But
we did kind of cheat.
Hath, you never won an intramural title, did you?
No, I'm trying to think. I don't think we ever won in flag football. I didn't really do a basketball.
No. Yeah, that was definitely our scene, Guru, for sure. I love hyphens. That's Robbie, 3-7, taking on Honey Bijan Badgers, who are still reeling from the domination that you put on them this week. Hath, they've both lost 3 in a row now. Who stops the bleeding this week, Robbie or Walsh? Hath,
Robbie or Walsh? I'm gonna say here. I think that his squad had a brutal output last week that's not indicative of his squad, and so I think he doesn't have a get right here.
Guru.
I took Walsh too. Lamar Jackson and Roma Dunze missed practice today again, so I don't know what's going on with those guys. If they play, are they banged up? Are they not going to play? I'll take Walsh.
Wow, and you're the one championing Robbie earlier this season. I'm disappointed in you. Hath, your guys 7-3, the McConkey off my back against the Allen Bros 2-8. Pete has not had a top 3 pick since 2020. Back then, he took David Johnson, 4 years removed from his lone 1,000-yard rushing season. Had just been traded to the Texans, so optimism was high for Pete. Didn't really work out well for him. Hath, you are our college football correspondent. Who should Pete be targeting as he looks at next year's draft? Who is going to be in that top 3 range that he should be eyeing right now on Saturdays?
Ooh. Trying to think of what his needs are.
Well, just broadly speaking, running back, receiver, who's eligible this year? Who's coming? Is it Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame? Is he the prime target at running back? Is there someone I don't know?
I mean,
I would. Top receivers aren't eligible.
Yeah, I would say, in terms of next year's draft, it's probably going to be Love, absolutely, at running back. There's also a stud out of a Texas Tech. I do think it's going to be a bit of a heavy defensive draft, to be honest with you, at the front of it. But I got to give that a little bit more thought, as I'm not too dialed in yet on the draft for next year.
Okay. Bowers Castle, Hoban 4-6 against LC 6-4. Hoban was wheeling and dealing this week, guys. When we were talking about the Mahomes trade, he also traded a 4th to Pete for Deebo Samuel. He traded a 3rd to Pete for Isaiah Pacheco. What do we make of those moves, Guru? Is Hoban, gearing up for the playoffs? Is that realistic? Would you have traded a 3rd and a 4th for these guys? Where do you stand?
Yeah, I like these moves for Hoban. I love that he's making moves. I think it's great. I like these a little bit more than the other move, just because Pacheco's banged up, and when he's healthy, he's really good. Debo's going to slot in as an every week starter. Like, that really helps Hoban's team. But yeah, I think, and they're both like, they're going to be good for at least a couple more years. I like these moves for Hoban. I think it's good.
Hap?
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. I haven't always thought that he's done great on his trades in terms of getting the equitable value. I know he reached out and had some buyers remorse on giving up draft, but I think that he needs to be making some drastic moves to kind of get his squad out of the cellar. So it's good to see he's making every effort there.
Yeah, his team. You mentioned earlier when you talked about the Mahomes trade, his team is definitely more formidable. He's trying to make a push for the playoffs here. I don't think I would have given up a 3rd and a 4th for those guys, but maybe that's just me. We move on to the final game to preview. It's Hunter. I don't even know her. That is Zan's 8-2 against the Thrill of the Chase. That is Steve. Steve won this matchup in week 2. Zan's first loss of the season until the Stan Zix got him this past week. Does Zan's get revenge? Guru, speak it into existence.
Yeah, I picked Zan's to go 1-2 in the next 3 when we had Walsh on.
So did I, and he's 1-1.
He beat Walsh, which is what I predicted. I said he would lose to you, which is what I predicted, and then I also said he would lose to Steve. So as much as it hurts me, I'm going to keep going with that prediction and say Steve in this one.
Disappointing. Hath, what do you think?
I'm torn on this one. Steve is my guy. At the same time, Zan's, has had my number here. So I think anytime I bet against him here, I'm only stacking the odds, and I'm hoping to finally break that spell against him in the playoffs. So I'm going to go Zan.
So you're picking Zan's to win. Okay. I think Steve's team looks a little better on paper this week, but I'm going to go with the heart play and say Zan's gets the W here. And despite me saying he'd go 1-2, I think he goes 2-1 in this 3-game stretch. But that'll do it for us. Long pod this week. Tom, thanks for doing this. Are me and Guru going to start getting paid now that you own this podcast? Now, we put this thing out pretty much every week.
We can absolutely talk of benefits here in a little bit.
Okay. All right. Good. Guru, thank you as always.
Venmo's open.
There you go. All right, guys. Good luck in week 11. Let's go down.